You didn't get into the business to stare at spreadsheets, chase down invoices, or wonder why your phone stopped ringing. You got in to build something, a business, a legacy, a life on your own terms. But nobody told you how hard that actually is. Torsion Talk is for the garage door owner who's out there in the field before sunrise, solving problems nobody trains you for, and building anyway, because that's who you are. This is your industry, your conversation. Let's get into it. I'm Ryan. Welcome to Torsion Talk.
What's going on, everyone? And today is going to be a little bit different than what we normally do. We have Justin on from Clopay. And like for you old heads that have been around for a long time, the OGs that have been following the podcast for years and years and years, we used to do a lot of interviews and then we got away from it for a while. Part of it was just because convenience, and the other part was like trying to coordinate good sound on their end and technology and everything else. But Justin's locked in. He's got great sound. We were able to make our schedules work and we're super excited. So first of all, thank you, Justin, for joining the podcast. It's been a while. You've been on before, but it's good to have you back.
Ryan, I appreciate the opportunity to be on, and it's great to talk to all the folks that listen in.
Yeah, we've got a lot of new listeners since the last time you were on with us. Can you introduce yourself? Tell us a little bit about who you are, how you got in the garage door industry, and how you got with Clopay and what you do for them.
Absolutely. My name is Justin Evans. I'm Senior Vice President of Marketing here. I've been with Clopay almost 23 years, believe it or not. And my background is in product management. So I've always been about providing the best products. And I came onto Clopay in a position on the retail side, believe it or not. So I was working with our retail partners, and I was excited about that because it's marketing to end consumers through businesses. So it's B2C through B. And that to me is really exciting because prior to that, I was in a B2B business. Touchscreens for industrial automation. So I'm a big time geek. But that was fun. That was interesting. I like the technology and the innovation of it, but I really wanted to talk more to homeowners, to end consumers. And that's what got me excited about this role. So I came up through the product side. And again, products make companies successful. So that is the influence that I've had in the company that makes me get up every day and get excited about it. And I really care about the dealers too. I was on the IDA board for 6 years. So I was elected by dealers to represent them. The dealer or the IDA is a dealer focused group. It's not about industry. It's not about it's not DASMA. It's different than that. So I really liked understanding how to make dealers more successful. And frankly, that's our mission too. Our mission statement talks about driving dealer success through experiences, products, and solutions. And I think that is living our mission. It really is working with our partners to make them successful, because if they're successful, we're successful.
Can I just take a little bit of a rabbit trail real quick? Because I saw something. I just happened to go to IDA's website.
Okay.
And this was like 2 days ago.
Okay.
And there's a new tab on there that I'm really, really excited about. And at first I was like, I don't want to post anything about it because it like even I feel awkward about being called out for things like maybe it's been there forever. But I think it's doors. Is it doors.org?
Mm-hmm.
But there's a new tab, guys, scam awareness.
Yes.
And I saw this new button on the website, and you know, I don't want to share too much information, but you know, when Byron got in to the IDA, I I'm aggressive. I'm an aggressive, passionate guy. I'm very passionate. It's not me being mean. It's maybe when I express my passion, it feels like I'm being mean. But I love Byron. But I kind of gave Byron a little bit of a hard time because I'm like, we only have a few major problems and nobody wants to address it. And IDA is the perfect organization to make it happen. One is the scams. Single biggest issue we have in our industry outside of talent, like recruiting people into the industry for employers. And I said, if you end this stint with IDA without making major progress, I'm going to call it a failure. Like, and I love Byron, but I also know that he's not going to be able to do everything because it's like slow moving. You're counting on a lot of like bureaucracy and like it's tough. But I really was trying to light a fire under him a little bit, and I think he was like, just wait and see. I don't know. Like, I think he was kind of like, I don't know what I'm going to be able to accomplish or not, but I'm going to try. And look, it's only been since I had that conversation with him. It's probably been a couple months. This is a huge deal, and I got the email yesterday. So, congratulations to IDA for stepping up and trying.
Yeah, and I'm telling you what, I'm not on the board anymore. I've done my 6 years. They like fresh talent, and I like the fact that they keep it fresh. But Byron he's an amazing guy, and I got to work with him on the board toward the end of my time there. And I jokingly, I've heard him say "dealers" in his really cool accent so many times. He says, and I smile because I've heard it so many times, but it talks about what he cares about. He cares about the dealers, and he really does focus on them. So he listens to you, he listens to others, and he's a great president for the group. He's a great spokesman for the group, and he's passionate too. The passion in the industry is another thing that I love the fact that the dealers that are involved in this industry care about themselves and their success, but they're also the most selfless group of people trying to make the whole industry better. I mean, how can you not love this? It's fun.
Yeah, for sure. Agree. 100%. I think that's underrated, and I'm not sure you have that in every industry, to be honest with you. I've been in industries where there's a small portion of people that care, but I just feel like a lot of the people care. So I'm going to swing it back to Clopay because you and I could probably chat about that for days. And I know people that listen to the podcast, they're going to want to hear what I'm talking about with Clopay. So you guys do residential, commercial. You broke off the brands. You've got Cornell and you've got Clopay. Clopay's your residential. Do you do anything on the commercial side, or are you strictly residential?
So I oversee all of it, but there's great folks that really do push it. As a matter of fact, people that I work with on a day-to-day basis, the two women that I talk to probably more than anyone else came up through the Cornell and Cookson ranks, and they do an amazing job of lead generation on marketing communication side. And then on the product side, Heather Bender was a product manager on the rolling side of the business. And I tell you what, her knowledge of how to be a product manager and how to drive things systematically through a larger organization is really amazing, because Clopay has grown. So having that background, having that rolling background, having that structure, it really works well together. So you talk about residential is key, commercial, rolling, all of it is important. And the way I look at it is this: dealers that are successful typically have a good service side of the business. They also have an installation, new product sales, all of it is important. Service sales on a dealer side doesn't necessarily make Clopay a ton of money, right? It's not about that, but it makes the dealers stronger. It makes them have a balance of product, service, and we see that strengthening our dealer base. Our residential, our commercial, our rolling does the exact same thing. It strengthens us as a company and it allows us to integrate ideas together. Think about VertiStack, one of the most exciting products that we have. That is
Yeah, for sure.
it's a perfect marriage of rolling technology with sectional product. So it brings those
Yeah.
two things together. So I, they're they're not mutually exclusive. They're not siloed. We are very well connected in terms of our thought process, our teams. We work all the pieces, all the parts work really well together.
That's good. I want to focus mostly on residential today.
Sure.
Um, I think majority of our listeners, at least 75% of them are heavy, maybe 80 or 85 are heavy residential. We do have a lot of commercial guys, but or that do both. But I want to specifically talk like one thing that I really like about Clopay is when we roll into a house and we want to talk about, product, it feels good that if someone goes online and searches a product or a manufacturer, that they have such a good like brand and presentation of their products and who they are as a company. And so can you tell me a little bit about like what went behind that? What's the strategic focus of Clopay? Because it looks like you guys invest a lot of time and effort into the homeowner trying to
Mhm.
make that a great experience. And I don't know if you're leading that, but damn good job, man, because people are impressed. I'm impressed when I go to your website. I'm a marketing guy. Love to go to the website, love to see all the stuff, your messaging, the photo, the photography, the layout, the UI, UX, everything. I love it. Right. And so it helps us in the field when we're selling have that experience. And so can you tell me a little bit about the vision for Clopay and why you guys invest so much to the direct to consumer marketing, unlike a lot of other manufacturers?
It, you bring up a really good point, and I would say that's one of the things that sets Clopay apart. We drive leads to our partners. That's one thing we take a lot of pride in. We create advertisements that our dealers can co-brand. We generate leads from our website to dealers. We market to them to help generate more business for our partners. And there's a couple reasons for this. One, it goes back to our mission. We want to make our dealers successful. And one of the ways is to provide solutions beyond product. It's about getting customers excited. But the other thing is, from a homeowner perspective, think about the purchases that you've made outside of garage doors. And most of the time, when you make a comfortable, confident purchase, it's about a brand that you recognize and a brand that you feel comfortable with. And we've done a lot of research on end consumers. And one of the biggest fears that homeowners and anyone that buys anything has is making a bad choice. And having confidence in a brand makes that choice safer. It takes a customer that could, not, they might go back and wish they would have done something different. And you don't like that feeling. You don't like to wish you made a different choice. But if you know the company, if you've heard the name, if you see the advertisements, if you see the high-end photography, you talk about that, it adds authenticity to that brand. And from a dealer perspective, we provide that photography, that the marketing tools for dealers to use. But one thing a lot of the listeners here are trying to figure out how to build their business more and what trips or what tips and tricks that they can use. And I would say authenticity is important too. So we focus on really high-end, beautiful photography, and it's not cheap. Like we focus on
Oh,
that.
I know. Yeah.
But cell phone pictures of your install with the homeowner and their dog out in front of the house, that matters. I mean, I'm joking with the dog, but not really. I mean, our TV spot that we let our dealers use has a dog in it. That's intentional. People love dogs. It makes it more real.
Yeah.
Get a picture of the kids playing basketball in front of the door. This is the kind of stuff, the authentic pictures that you can use on social media really help the individual brands at a local level. They might recognize that business or that home. Hey, I know where that house is, or I've seen that business. It makes it real. So pretty pictures, a brand that's recognized as important. And you need to do that for your own dealerships. Make that brand recognized, but be authentic, be real, have a little bit of fun. If we look at some of the posts that are most successful with us, it's me or somebody else on our team being a little goofy. Like, have fun, be real. You're going to get people that trust you because of that.
Right. Agree. Love your video, by the way, of the C technology where you were like being goofy with the remote.
Yeah, it's funny that you mentioned that. That was totally done on a whim. Our social media manager said, act goofy. And I was like, all right. And it was, I believe it's the most viewed post we've had in the last 2 years. So
That's awesome.
it it works. Again, you got to be real. I'm real, and
Yeah.
when people see, Clopay is a company and a corporation, and that's not what they want. They want to talk to the people that are in the business, that work with the dealers, that they have a relationship with. I mean, we've talked outside of this. You know me, I know you as a person, and I think knowing the people behind the business really helps bring it home.
Agree. You you mentioned something in there, and I'm trying to be so engaged that I forgot what I was going to say. But
All
if it
good,
comes
brother.
to me, I'll bring it up. Oh, I remember you were talking about leads on the website.
Yes.
We
Yes.
got the email about the call tracking, and I had some
Yes.
questions. Can we address that here? So maybe other people might have the same question.
I would love to. I think that's great. First off, there was a lot of questions about, hey, I got this e-sign. Is that spam? It is not. We sent out a marketing communication and it tells you who the sender is. So make sure you look at our communication, make sure it's the right sender. But the signature thing is real. So what it is, we have phone numbers on our website. They're called tracking phone numbers. And when a customer calls that, we count that lead as, hey, we were able to generate customer interest and we have it ring right to the dealership, which is great. So there is no interaction. There's no, from your standpoint, it just rings. Okay. But we're able to see what activities we're doing that better generate leads for you. Also, we want to understand what the topics of the conversation are. Now, we're using AI technology, which is great
I
to
was curious.
help,
That was my next question.
yeah, to help understand. And it's not about
Like,
reporting.
you're pulling out sentiment, right?
Yeah,
Sent,
it pulls
and
out
then
sentiment, but it also lets you know what they're talking about. So let's say we do a campaign focused on, hey, Clopay dealers provide the best service in the industry. Click here or call here to get more information about service. Now, we do that to generate business for the dealers. If the homeowner's talking about service or talking about a particular type of product, we know that that's what the people are interested in. So it helps us better market. That's really what this is about. It's about being more efficient with our marketing dollars so that we can generate more leads per dealer. That's really what we focus on. And this technology is really going to help us be smarter about it. So yes, I'm glad you brought that up. Right on point. It's really important for us to do this. And part of it is because of AI being involved, the dealer needs to be aware, hey, this is happening and agree to it. That's why we have that contract that goes
gotcha.
out. But it's really going to help us be more powerful, better marketers, and it's going to provide the
We got to
dealers a
collect
lot more
data.
leads.
Yeah. Shopping trends are changing so much. The way people are interacting with websites is changing so much. The way that people are finding you is changing so much. So as a marketer, as a home service business owner, I think, like, if we're not digging into data and learning those trends, we're making a huge mistake. And part of that is listening to calls and listening to the outcome of that customer journey
Right.
through the need, the search, the solution, and the conversion. So kudos to you guys. I think that's great. So I'll sign it. I didn't think it was spam because I always check the sending address, even though those can be
Yes.
spoofed. But it looked legit. And I was just curious if the recordings would be available to the dealer as well, and or would we be able to, like, is there and forgive me if I don't know this, is there a place in like my door platform where we can see the total amount of leads, phone calls, and email leads that have been generated on our, like, for us?
So you bring up a really good point on the leads, and on my Clopay, our goal is to provide you with information on the leads and the types of leads. So depending on the dealership and their access, you will be seeing more of that. So you're bringing up a really good point, and that's something that we're going to be focusing on, because most dealers don't realize that when their phone rings, a lot of those calls are coming from us to the dealer. And understanding that value, frankly, selfishly shows, hey, we really are a partner. We're providing, we want to pat ourselves on the back and say, hey, we're helping you. It's not just about product. It's not just about,
Oh, trust me, attribution. Like, if you're a marketing agency or a manufacturer trying to send leads to a dealer, attribution can be one of the most difficult things ever. And then, like, I can't tell you how many times, like, we've gotten cancellation with my marketing agency, and then we're digging into things, and we're sending leads, but they're not being followed up with, or called back in a timely manner, and so the value of what we deliver is diminished, right?
Mhm.
And so, but attribution, if you guys figure out attribution 100%, you've hit a gold mine and you'll be a trillionaire, because it's literally impossible. And I've talked to some of the greatest marketers on the face of the earth who are like the best of the best. So the next question that I would have for you is, are you guys, I would say the natural next step, if you're going down this path, would you guys ever consider putting, like, offering tracking code to put on dealer websites so that you guys can track conversions that happen from you, or giving us like a UTM? I guess we could set up a UTM
To connect it
extension
all the way through to
through Clopay.
purchase.
Yeah.
I would love to do that, and that's actually something that we're trying to work into the future, is to better integrate our systems. Not and there's a challenge, because we want to provide the dealers a service. We want to provide the dealers what they want, and the dealers are their own individual businesses. We want
Right.
them to run their own business. But understanding, hey, this lead was great, but it turned into nothing. So if we send a bunch of leads that aren't turning into sales, we really need to know that, so that we give you the best leads. And that's really one of the things that we're trying to integrate those systems, so that we can have a better view of what works and what doesn't. So absolutely, that's our mission, and that's a focus in the
I know
near
you'd probably
future.
get some pushback from the dealers, but
Yes.
maybe if you guys encourage that by giving maybe a little bit, like, dealers who participate in the tracking code program and the call tracking program, maybe you guys just up the co-op just a little bit, because you're getting data that's going to help make you exponentially better. And it could be a trade-off, right? Because dealers don't want to give away their data to
Right.
manufacturers either. There's like a trust thing there.
Sure.
How are you going to use it? Whatever. So I think that would be a good trade-off.
I think that's a smart idea, and I think we need to look at ways to encourage it. Um, and you're right. It's a trust thing, and I do respect the autonomy of dealers to make decisions what's best for them. And I know that what we're focusing on is trying to help the dealers, but I also understand dealers want to run their business their way. And it's a balance. I know our mission says that we're to promote customer success, our dealers' success. That's our mission statement. And I keep talking about our mission to help express that to dealers, that really, when you're successful, we're successful. So I know that, and I think you're bringing up a really good point. We need to encourage that, and we need to continue to get that attribution. All those details help us be better, and that is definitely a focus. You're going to see more of that over the next few years,
Yeah.
and it's mostly just to try to help and be better at what we're doing.
So I definitely want to get into some of our questions. I know we
Sure.
have taken a completely different path than
I
what,
love, dude,
but
I
I
love
like
it
it. Yeah, yeah,
when we
yeah.
go off
This
the
is so
side
much
trail.
better, in my opinion.
It's
So this
fine.
actually brings me to another point because
Okay.
I had a friend of mine. I don't remember who it was off the top of my head, but I think I've had 2 or 3 people tell me that you guys have approached them about a program that you guys have where, like, I think your executive team or something will like work with the dealer to like grow the company or something like that. And I don't know if this is like a ninja thing where you guys don't talk about it much because I don't see it promoted by Clopay, or if it's like an invite only, or if there's certain things you guys are looking for within a business to make this happen. But I've heard about this from 2 or 3 people, whether it be
Mhm.
clients of mine in the marketing agency or just friends of mine or GDU
Yeah.
members. Can you tell me a little bit about what that program is and what you guys are looking for in a dealer? Because I can imagine, like, even me, I'm sitting here like, man, what a freaking great opportunity to have really smart business people like come into your business and spend time with you and help guide you. And these people have already seen the track record and the path from other dealers.
Mhm.
And yes, there's probably small disconnect, right? But
Sure.
there's going to be nuggets in there that you can be like, oh my god, yes. And that's like when I think about GDU, that is the core thing of what we do. And so I love anything to do with that. And what you guys are doing is kind of like a consulting thing, I think, right? Can you bring some
Mhm.
clarity to that? Because I don't think a lot of people know about it.
So yeah, our sales team has what they call the Compass program.
Mhm.
And the idea is to provide guidance. It's like a compass. And what we do is we look at trends, we look at how many leads that dealership has received. We talk about integration with your systems and our systems. And it's about how we can support the dealer better. And you're right, our sales team talks to a lot of dealers. And from that, you're going to get best practices. So that's really a way for us to consult. And we talk about the consultative sale. We really want to be consultants. We want to help dealers beyond product. Again, it's about being successful. And again, it talks about really how important we view the dealers in this partnership is we want to work with the dealer to provide them what they need. And we're willing to, I don't want to say teach, but we're willing to share best
Sure.
practices. And we gain from it too. We also have what we call the dealer advisory board, which
Mhm.
is we bring it's about 15, 20 dealers every year to our facilities or to a location where we basically just talk about product, talk about technology, and we learn what people in the market want, what the dealers need, what the trends they're seeing. I mean, one topic that comes up, and you mentioned this, is the challenges for dealers. One of them is trying to find installers. And how do we, as a company, help support that? And there's interesting ways to support that. It's about making the process easier so that you can have maybe not, the old guard that's been doing it for 100 years, but people that are newer into the business trying to make that process easier from installation to ordering, all of that. So we work with Compass to try to help drive dealer business, but we also work with dealers on the advisory board so that we can understand what they're seeing. And I mean, the one thing I always ask for, and I've asked this every time I talk to dealers, is give us feedback. We do listen. It might not seem like we're listening as quick as you want, but we really want to hear what's going on because you're on the street understanding what customers want every day. And we do research, we do all that, but you're seeing them every day. And there's so much value there.
Yeah. That's awesome. I don't know too many manufacturers doing stuff like that. And if you have an open seat, I would love an invite to the advisory board. I think stuff like that is awesome. I'd love to participate and inviting myself over for dinner, but that's fine.
Hey,
Uh,
you got to be aggressive. I love it.
yeah.
Hey guys, I just wanted to reach out to you and let you know that Surewinder is still selling amazing products. Some of you guys have been dragging your feet for whatever reason. If your shoulder hurts, do not waste time. Pull the trigger. I just bought 4 or 5 of them, and we had 2 guys out. You know how much it cost me to pay for 2 guys being out with bad shoulders? We just pulled the trigger and we said, listen, everybody's going to have one on a truck. It's mandatory. You got to use it. Don't hesitate. Don't wait till your guys go down. It's going to cost you more. Buy a Surewinder.
Hey guys, I found something that changed my business and I want to share it with you. We've created packages that have included some of the best products in our industry to offer our service customers. The heart of that package is Stealth Hardware Kit. Stealth Hardware is the quietest hinges on the market. I challenge you to buy at least one of these, test it for yourself. Put it on your truck and design a quiet performance package for your customers willing to pay for a better, smoother running door. Buy your Stealth Hardware Kit at Service Spring, do a search for quiet hinge, and then buy that. You can buy a double or single door, 7 or 8 foot tall, and promise you, it'll change your service forever.
Somer USA and Somer Group want to thank you for an incredible year and the trust you put in them and their products. As you know, Somer places high value on relationships, education, customer service, innovation, and professionalism. And they are grateful to you for your part in the fostering and dissemination of these values. If there is any way Somer can support you in your journey, whether through their products, the values they hold to, or the knowledge Somer has gained through interaction with door dealers across the world, please reach out to the team at your convenience. They are here to serve you. Again, thank you from the entire Somer team. Check them out at somerusa.com. Tell them Ryan sent you.
All right. Can you walk us through, getting back to some of our questions, can you walk us through some of the product that Clopay's launched in the past year? Get us caught up on some of that stuff.
Sure.
And what are you trying to solve with these products? Because love, maybe a little bit older than a year, but love the VertiStack. I want you to touch on that one. I want you to talk about the C technology. I want you to talk about the new C Power. I want you to talk about the new oh my God, Bridgeport. And then anything else that you guys have released that I'm not covering.
Sure. So VertiStack, I do want to talk about that. When we launched VertiStack, we show our products at the International Builder Show, and that is one of the largest shows. It's, consumer electronics. There's a few that are bigger, but it's one of the biggest in the world. And at that show, there are categories. So the way I look at it is this. You ever watch a dog show, how they have like the different breeds, and they have best in breed, and then there's best in show?
Yeah, my wife makes me watch it every Thanksgiving.
Right? Exactly. Well, all the different cute dogs and then the working dogs and all that. Well, in our breed, our category, the door and window category, we won best of that category, which I was not surprised. I thought that was going to be great to win best in category. And then they had this event where everyone's sitting down and we're going through, and I had to talk about the product in front of all the media, and that was fun. And then we sit back down and they're like going through and all these different products. And at the time that year, there was a lot of fires in California. And I remember one of the category winners, it was like this foam that went around the outside of the house. It sprayed on the house and it prevented homes from burning down. And I'm like, wow, that's a really cool product. That product is going to be best in show. And hey, I'm glad we won our category. Well, turns out we won best in show. So we were the best dog in the whole darn show. And I was shocked. And I was like, I love it. I agree. Why did we win? Like, what made you people so excited? And, they talked about all the other products and the fact that this other product was somewhat revolutionary, but it used existing technology and it was great. It was it helped save homes. I mean, it's wonderful. But what set us apart was the fact that we reinvented something that's been in the industry for 100 years. Garage doors have been around and basically worked the same for 100 years, and we reinvented something. And that's really why we won, is because we didn't just look at how to change things, minor tweaks and changes. We talked about removing parts of a product that everyone thought was absolutely necessary. Hinges, track. Oh, yeah, let's sell a garage door and take away the hinges and the track. That'll make sense. Well,
Right.
it did. We were able to be
Yeah.
innovative by removing things that were obviously, you can't possibly remove these things, and yet we done did it. And that was really what set it apart. So VertiStack, and it's neat too. It's innovation with purpose. So the innovation allows for more backroom in a garage. Car lifts are becoming more and more popular.
Oh,
People
for
have their
sure.
hobby cars. Uh, my son's Jeep, it has the hard top. If I have the hoist and want to lift it out, you've got that space to do things like that. Like, it changes the way that a garage can be used, but it's not just for parking your car. One of the best applications we've got, and if you go to our website, you can see this when you go to the VertiStack page, a pickleball ball court. A homeowner has an outside gym. Okay, so these are high-end homeowners, but they've got a pickleball court on their property. And it's great. They can let the air in, or they can close it if it's cold. And it thinks about a space differently. And really, we took something away from a product that people thought would be nuts, track and hinges. How could you possibly? And yet it revolutionizes the way that the door works and what it can do. So we're excited about that. You talked about
Can
sea power.
yeah, can I just interrupt real quick on that? Because I want to
Sure.
share two things with you. One, Aaron Overhead Doors, we specifically focus on high-end luxury custom doors.
Mhm.
And through that, we have taken the direction of like networking with a lot of interior designers, some that are absolutely amazing. And when you think about, when I think about Elon Musk, like some of the reasons why I think Elon Musk is so great is because he challenges the status quo, right? He thinks about the impossible and then tries to figure out how to get there. And it's not impossible to him because it's just impossible with what discovered yet, right? And what I love about working with interior designers, a lot of times, not all times, some of them are very mechanically inclined, but some of them are not. And so they'll say, "Hey, I want the garage door to work like this." And we're like, garage doors don't work like that, right? But let me see what I can figure out. And so we're always trying to, and I love being challenged by someone who doesn't fully understand how things work because it makes you think down a path that you wouldn't have
Yes.
normally gone. And so we've been able to accomplish some really cool things. Shout out Somer. Like, I know I sold 2 glass doors. 6 companies came out to like quote 2 full view glass doors, and the setup she wouldn't let you do a trolley. You couldn't do a side mount. There's literally zero room on the sides. And she's like, I had 6 companies out. The last company told me I should call you. We came out, sold a Somer, side mounted it above the track, connected it to the top corner of the door. And she's, that turned into hundreds of thousands of dollars for me. She was an interior designer. And then she just recently moved, hired us for garage doors for her new home. But when you get into this world of like trying to create impossible things, and then we had another home builder, right? We got in, we bid the job, we get in, and they had built a staircase in the way of the track in the garage. Like we could not install, like the door would not go up high enough, right? So what do? We go in the conference room and we're like, oh, this is trouble. Like we gotta figure this out. And we found a way, right? What we did was we put a transom section in that didn't move, right? And then we put we had the second section from the top. That one like broke away and came back. And that allowed us to cover the full opening. He was fine with it because it was 8-foot opening. He didn't need the space or whatever it was to 8-10. I don't remember. But it was the only way that we could think of to get those doors in. And you guys have innovated something that solves so many problems where like maybe the engineer or the architect missed something, it's fairly easy. Put a
Yep.
staircase in the wrong place in the garage, or they made a on the fly adjustment on site. Or you have an interior designer who's like, hey, listen, I want to open this up really big, but I don't want the tracks back because we want lighting right
Yep.
here. We want this, we want that. And we get that a lot in restaurants and breweries as well.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think this is a great application for it. I think that it's out of the budget for a lot of people, which is a big challenge. But for the people who do have the budget for it, I think it's awesome. And we've already sold and installed one or two, and my guys loved it. Wasn't overly complicated first time. We had to work through it. Of course, it's unique. It's different. It's innovative. Yep, it's different. And so, but we love them, and we're quoting them more and more. I think you guys are getting some steam behind that. But if you want to comment on that, fine. But I'd love to hear about the C Power feature as well.
Yeah, one thing you touched on, which I find you're absolutely on point. Creativity. There's a science behind it. I've actually been reading this book. It's Inside the Box Innovation by Drew Boyd. It's a pretty cool read. And one of the things I think is interesting is he's looked at innovation over time, and what creates innovation is people thinking beyond what he calls fixedness. That's it's always been done this way. We can't possibly do things differently. How could you have a door without track? How could you have a door without hinges? That just won't work. That's fixedness. The other thing is creativity is created by a closed world, constrained environment.
Just bought it, by the way. Thank
awesome.
You for the book.
But what I mean closed world is in the homeowner's house that you talked about that had the staircase in the way, your solution has to be constrained by the home. The most innovative, creative thinkers are constrained by something. To have out of the box, you can change anything, you can do anything, you could remove the staircase. Well, you can't. You're constrained. And those constraints create creativity. You have to solve a problem with the pieces in that game. It's the whole reason people play board games. There's rules. And to win, you have to be creative within the rules. And you absolutely bring it up. We know the components that are in a door. We know the tools that we had within Clopay and with Cornell and Cookson, all that technology. We were constrained, and we thought within that technology what we could do differently. And that made us be more creative. And exactly like the examples you're talking about in that homeowner's garage where they had all this things in the way, you have to be creative within those constraints. And I just thought it was interesting that you exactly talked about some of the issues, and we call it MacGyver thinking, right? MacGyver was interesting and a cool show for us old people back in the day because, and I knew there was a reboot or whatever, but it was cool because he fixed things with whatever was in front of him. And that's creativity based on constraint. And that I just think that's exciting. It's interesting. I'm a nerd. I know, I'm a geek, but I love to understand the way people think and how things are developed. And it's interesting to think that way. Anyway, C-Power. Yes, C-Power. So in terms of innovation, talking about the Builder Show, guess who won category of the year again? So our dog won the darn thing 2 years in a row.
Good job.
And they couldn't give it to, they couldn't give us best in show 2 years in a row, but best in category, you know what? I'll take it. We're doing all right.
Yeah.
We also won IDA Expo Most Innovative Product. So we got a twofer. We'll call that pretty cool. So we're really excited about that. And what it really does is it let the click to conceal panels on our C-Power is what we have launched. And that allows for basically 2 doors. People like full view. It's becoming more and more popular, the glass doors, but they want privacy. And to be able to have at the click of a switch, privacy or, showing off my Ferrari. It's up to you. It depends upon the situation. You're having a party, you're using the garage as...
Depends on how clean it is too. We have a clear glass garage door in our house, and my wife's like, oh my God, the garage is looking nasty. I wish we could, cover up the door somehow. I'm like, hey.
Solving problems within constrained environments. Your constraint is your dirty garage.
Is there a retrofit kit that can be installed on an existing door?
That's a great question. No, not at this time. And the reason is because the way C-Power works is it works when the door's in operation, which is really what sets it apart. Power to the panels is going to give us a lot more innovation moving forward. Envision when the door's open, using the door as the light source instead of blocking the light source. So the fact that you have power the whole way through, it's an entirely new track assembly and all that. So that's why there's no retrofit kit. But it gives us a lot of other opportunities. And some of the things that we're looking at is imagine on a steel door with windows, the ability to backlight those LED windows or LED
I saw that
backlight
you
the
guys
windows.
had that displayed, and it was
Yes.
like beta, which I love the fact that you guys were willing to throw something out there where you like drilled through the sections. So many people care so much about like what the finished product looks like. I love innovation, and sometimes
It's dirty.
innovation looks like testing, and
Yep.
I love that, bro. Like I'm just so proud. Like I was blown away by walking through your booth, and I think a lot of people probably walked by and didn't even appreciate what you guys had, right? Like I just love the innovation. And it's the same they described that, you know, I asked, I said, is this the same technology you guys are using in the full view glass doors? And they said yes. And I was like, how are you getting the power to this? And they're like, right now we're working through all that, but for this demo we like drilled holes down the, you know, one side. And I was like, can I see? And they're like, you're not supposed to, but yeah. And so just being curious, like grew up watching Curious George my whole life. I wanted to see that. And I love that. Like I love that you guys are innovating and pushing it out and doing it fast too. Like your product team deserves uh mad props, by the way.
I appreciate that, and I will relay that to them. Our team has urgency behind it, and innovation matters because you can't. There's another term, and again, I'm geeking out, but it's called the success trap. And there's several books that talk about the success trap as a person, but there's also the success trap of a business. And looking through history, you look at someone like Kodak. Did you know that Kodak actually invented the digital camera in the 70s?
They're out of New York, right?
Kodak, yeah. Well, the brand is now, but they basically went out of business when
Right.
back in my day, because I'm older. But you know, film was a thing. So taking pictures required film. The digital camera was a dream. But Kodak went bankrupt because they were worried about cannibalizing their profitable film business.
Right.
I'm telling you, you have got to be disruptive. You have got to think differently. We cannot rest on our success. We've got successful, profitable products. That's great. We're not afraid to disrupt and think differently about the products that we already have, because if we don't, you're stagnant. So that's what our team focuses on, is being innovative, continuing to drive the business and do new things. We're measured on that, and that keeps us fresh, because I hate when people talk about cannibalization, talking about, oh, you don't want to do this because it's going to take away sales from this. Guess what? If you don't cannibalize your own products, somebody else will. And you
Right.
have to think and be different every day. I get excited about it because innovation keeps us relevant, and we're fighting every day to be relevant. And our industry's fighting every day to be relevant and be able to demand an ROI of 268%. Why is our industry that way? People don't think garage doors is a great industry in terms of design and innovation, but I beg to differ. And I think the homeowners see that too.
Well, when I got into garage doors in 2015, there was very little love for garage doors as a trade or a product, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like, you know, I was a marketing guy. So one of the first things I did was build a website. And then I was like, all right, I need to be on every directory. And I went into like every directory under the sun and was like entering in my information. And like 75% of the time, there wasn't even a garage door category on these.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, it may have been Yelp. There was like a big directory that didn't even have garage doors as a category at that point in time. 2015. I mean, like
That's crazy.
I'm baffled, right? Like, and so
Yeah.
as time has gone on, and with the help of manufacturers and people like Tommy Mello bringing awareness to the garage door industry, and then, social media, like you're seeing a lot of garage door guys doing a great job with social media. So it's bringing more attention to the trades too. But I also feel like the manufacturers developing something better than short panel raised was a huge win. And, back in 2015, it was just standard. Like, I think a lot of garage door guys just walked in homes and was like, oh, you have a short panel raise, I'm going to give you a short panel raise. They didn't go through the options and, show all the different, ways that they can increase curb appeal and ROI and all that. And, that brings me to a good point, right? Because I think you guys focus so much on high end, which I love, which is why our synergy is so good with Aaron and Clopay. If my question to you is, if the highest ROI, like substantially higher than everything else, is a garage door on a home, one, is it because it's that great all of a sudden? Or is it because the cost of garage doors are so low that the roof for the ROI is higher, like that gap is wider, and maybe some of the other products and renovations, yes, maybe they're still equally as valuable, but because they are more expensive, the ROI is less?
You bring up really good points. I love your questions. Yes, the ROI tells me a couple of things. It tells me that homeowners, when they're buying a home, see the value of a door. I mean, think about it. When you see a for sale sign in front of a house and they've got a canyon ridge on that house, you just feel that the home has a bigger value, right? It seems more finished. So I understand the ROI, but you bring up a really good point. Don't sell yourself short. And I think you mentioned Tommy Mello. He says the same sort of thing. Understand your value. Understand the value of what you offer. Understand the value of your business. Understand that you have value. Your products have value. Don't be afraid of it. A lot of homeowners talk price. A lot of, and I'll tell you why. It's interesting. If you understand, and I've done a lot of research on choice science. Again, I'm a geek, I know.
I
But
love it, bro. I'll geek out with you on this all day long.
But when I understand the way people behave and the way people make choices, the one common denominator, the one thing, everything in the world that you possibly could want for your house or for your shoes or your clothes or your car or whatever, everything has a price. It's the one common denominator for everything. So if you don't know anything about garage doors, if you don't know anything about remodeling, if you don't know anything about anything, you know that it has a price. The reason homeowners talk price is because they don't know any other thing about a door. They just don't. So when a homeowner's pushing on price, it's not about price. It's about talking in relevant terms about something that they understand, and that's the one common denominator that they understand. So I would encourage everyone that's listening to think about what a customer means when they're talking about price. They're not talking about price. They're trying to start a dialogue with a common denominator that they understand. That's it. And don't sell yourself short. The product has value, more so than you're seeing, because we wouldn't have 268% ROI if it was if it was overpriced in the market. Let's put it that way.
Right.
So there's definitely upside there.
Yeah, I don't see how it's possible to be overpriced and be able to deliver a 200-something% return on investment. Like things have a tendency to balance themselves out over time in the financial markets. and garage doors just seem like they aren't, right? Like they're
It's been years. Garage
yeah,
doors have had either the highest or second highest ROI for as long as I've been in the business. I mean, we're talking 20 years. So it, yes, it's interesting. And I've seen this, and I'm going to go back to my retail experience. So, and it's gotten a lot better. And I have to say, people like yourself that help educate dealers, our team, Tommy Mello, IDA, all these groups are helping people understand their value. But years ago, when I was working on Home Depot's display and understanding what their mix was, believe it or not, the mix of a Home Depot store was higher than the mix at a dealer years ago. And that blew people's minds. Like, there's nobody selling it. It's literally a display sitting in a store. Maybe somebody walks by and says, "Hey, can I help you?" But it's the display is letting the customer just pick product. And the homeowners chose best, good, better, best. They chose
$15,000
better and
customer.
best like 90% of the time. It's because, and it took years, and I still preach this, a lot of dealers are shopping with their wallet. And
100%. Oh my God, I know this. I preach this so much in my sales trainings.
don't sell with, or don't tell someone what you would buy. You need to understand what the homeowner wants. If you get out of their way and let them choose, they will choose higher. We talk about upselling. It is not, I hate the term upselling. I really do. It drives me crazy. It sounds salesy.
Right.
Don't upsell, consult. Let the homeowner choose. Customers want higher end. They see the value. Get out of the way and let them choose it. That's really what people want. And that experience with Home Depot really shocked me to say, guys, just get out of your own way a little bit. And I think the industry's really coming along. We're getting there,
for sure.
but there's still an opportunity to do more.
Yeah. Well, on a side note, I mean, we're about out of time. I would love to pick your brain, maybe consult with you or have you consult with me, how we can continue to make or grow our high-end business, because I'm trying to like double and triple my company quickly. We just had our first $1 million month in sales.
Woohoo.
And yeah, it's a big deal. Like, we're super pumped about it. And we're pushing for, we're going to try and do another $1 million this year or this month. It's going to be difficult, but maybe we can pull it off. But I'm working social media so hard right now. I'm messaging like all the professional athletes that live and are part of a team in the Metro Atlanta area. I mean, like, I'm reaching out to rappers. We've done rappers, we've done actors and actresses and musicians and athletes, but I'm trying to it's hard because a lot of those people, they're not like interested. People are always asking them for stuff. And so, when you say, "Hey, can you give me a referral?" or, whatever, you don't want to burn a bridge. It's almost like you just got to play it cool and do a good job and deliver a great experience. And then when the opportunity presents itself, they can brag on you. But it's a different game. They also don't leave reviews at a high level. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like, we actually, it was funny. One of my staff members, I put a challenge out there. Like, I want video testimonials. And we have this software that can push it out for us, like automatically to people. So it's like, give us a review request and, whatever. And then we offer like a gift card if they, will do a video testimonial about their experience, good or bad. I don't even care. Like, if it's bad, like, send it and I'll still give you the $25. I just want feedback on the experience. Well, one of my staff members got the first one. She texted me. She's like, "Oh my God, this guy Jason just did a video testimonial." She's like, "You should check it out." So, I finished up what I was doing and I went in there and I pressed play and it pops up and I'm like, "Holy cow, this guy looks so familiar. Where do I know him from?" And he's like, "Hi, I'm Jason Campbell. I just want to say that I love Aaron's overhead doors." And I'm like, "Oh my God, this is Jason Campbell, NFL quarterback, played at Auburn," and I'm just like, And we do business with people like this all the time, but they never like, they're just not very like, they don't want to do stuff like that. They just get asked for stuff all the time.
Yeah.
So I was like, Mandy, do you know who this is? And she's like, no, I have no clue. And I'm like, oh my God, your first one, our first video testimonial is of a NFL quarterback. I'm like, this is
Nice
awesome.
job.
Great job.
That's-
Yeah. I mean, like, heck yeah. So, you never know, but I'd love to network with you and see if there's any way that we can, you can help me, because I'm bought in. Like we're in growth mode. Like we're trying to get to, we're trying to get to a certain spot, and I could certainly use your brain to help us get there. So
let's do it.
Thank you for today, by the way. Appreciate you coming on. I know this has turned out to be so much better than me just going down the list of questions that we had. I felt like it's going to be super beneficial to the business owners out there listening to the podcast. And so thank you for jumping on so quick, and sorry I missed that email the other day. I am literally zero good without my assistant. This has been one of the hardest weeks. I don't want to tell her that because I don't want to make her feel bad going on vacation. But oh my God, like she's her job is so secure. It's not even funny. So yeah.
Hey, well, I appreciate you giving me the opportunity to come on, and all the dealers out there, keep on selling, stay safe, and keep moving forward.
For sure. Thank you guys for following along Torsion Talk podcast. If you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're trying to grow that. That's Markenuity. We post all of our, we post a lot of like some video content there, but all of the podcasts go there as well. So check us out there. We're going to be doing some videos on marketing and trends and things that you can learn. And if you're interested in doing your own marketing, it'll be super helpful and be good information for you. Thank you again, Justin. Appreciate you. And always a pleasure. Thank you, Clopay. Thank you, product team. Thank you, marketing team. Like all the guys and ladies at Clopay. We just want to say thank you from Aaron Overhead Doors as a dealer. And then I think I'll speak for the industry for a second. Thank you for the innovation and delivering on these beautiful high-end garage doors as well.
You're welcome. And thank you for all that you do for the industry.
Appreciate that. All right. You guys have a blessed day. Be good.